On WGHT, one of the best guys we know in the business with us right now is Eddie Brigati from the Rascals, currently on tour with his buddies from the Rascals in Once Upon a Dream. Hi, Eddie. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so glad we got a hold of you, and I'm so glad we could hook up to talk about Once Upon a Dream and what it's all about. But first, a quick background with Eddie. Eddie's a Jersey guy. He was one of the biggest pop stars during the 60s and a key member and songwriter for the great group The Rascals. Right now and currently, they're touring around America with Once Upon a Dream, and it's a show about the history of the group.
Oh, yeah. It's got a little bit of everything in it. It's they call it a bio, a living documentary, and it has a little bit of the history, and it touches on the past, the present, and there are actors in there. There are a narrator. Vinny Pastore is in there as a narrator. It's fun. It's got a little bit of everything. It's overwhelming. Half the time I turn around and I'm watching it myself.
What did it seem like to you when you were actually on Broadway in a theater where a conventional Broadway play would be showing, and then here you guys are? You were ruling Broadway.
You know what? It comes down to all those people in the seats. They validate it. It's something that happens when people stand up and they bring themselves and they afford to come there, and they have a great time. It's like a very healing, very enheartening, lifting situation where I'm sure they get the rush, and they give it back to us, and we try and give it back and forth, and before you know it, nobody's sitting. Everybody's up in the air, and it's a very wonderful, wonderful feeling of accomplishment.
Hey, Eddie, when you guys were in rehearsal for the show, and you first started singing and playing the old stuff, did everything come back to you like it was yesterday? Or was it surreal when you were back together with all the guys, when you were back with Gene and Dino and Felix? What was it like?
You know what it is? It's something that's really so powerful. God bless Steven VanZant and Mark Brickman, and he has a incredible detail perspective, and he knows every note, probably even as much or more so than all of us. What it is, we never had a chance to really professionally, put this thing together. As a director and a producer and a writer, he hit all the spots. He hit all the highlights of it, and I never realized how many songs we did. First of all, we're only doing 30 of them, but there's a lot of them that we never did as Rascals, because now we have a complement of singers. Rascals didn't have a bass player on the tour. Now we have a bass player and a keyboard player, and there's just a complement of singers in the arrangements, and some of these things sound new. I mean, it's new to us to perform them. It's very surreal, like you mentioned, surreal. It is very surreal. It's a chance for us to review it, but on a much, much higher level. This is a real professional production. It's kind of, it's an old script, but it has a brand new performance. The production of it's a brand new approach to it, and it's probably the highest professional production that I think we've ever done, ever. So it's new in one sense, and the songs marinated. It took them almost 40-something years to live out there, and they make more sense now. It makes much more sense, and I'm proud of it, and I'm amazed. I'm kind of in the audience with everybody else as well.
There are songs that you do that are on your box set for the group, and one of them is a song that we play a lot here on WGHT, which is Too Many Fish in the Sea. Do you guys do that one?
Absolutely. The whole matrix of it is, the cover songs and stuff like that, across the board. Steven's done an incredible job. Right now, we send our love to him in the James Gandolfini situation, prayers for him as well. But Steven has such an insight, and he's been a fan and a friend and an advocate of Rascals. He explains it in interviews since he's a boy, he went to a concert with Bruce Springsteen. They were at the same. They didn't know each other, but they were at the original concert. And nobody's been a champion for us. He's done more in 3 years than we've accomplished in 45 years, as far as intricately presenting this back to the public again. And he's given us an opportunity to live up to it. Some of it's surprising. I mean, whoever dreamed that? It's almost a half a century later.
I know.
Whoever dreamed that we'd be able to produce it and perform it? And the real key is that the people come and they love it, and that's the real super acknowledgement. That acknowledgement is the reward.
We're with Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Eddie Brigati from the Rascals. There's a video on YouTube of your Rock and Roll Hall of Fame introduction ceremony, and we all watch those. We keep track of those. The performance that you guys gave on the day that you were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was probably one of the best performances of any group that I've ever seen get inducted into the Hall of Fame. When you guys performed People Gotta Be Free, you brought down the biggest and best rock and roll group ever that were sitting in the audience, standing up, singing and cheering, and you guys nailed it. And that was years ago. That was years ago when you guys got back together for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. You remember that night?
1997. That's when Steven came up and introduced us, and that's where, David Chase noticed him and brought him into the Sopranos.
That's right.
And again, this is a real one shot deal. There's nobody that could have and would have and applied themselves as Steven did. He kind of, there's nobody that would take his place now. I mean, this is like a real divine intervention. Do you know that expression?
Absolutely.
We're living it, and so far we've done 30-something shows, and we have the same response. We've been through Florida and Philly, and now we're in Boston, and hopefully the next 4 days in Boston will be wonderful, and we'll be at the PNC, and then Jones Beach, and we're readjusting everything, and I think sometime in August we'll go to Canada. And just cross your fingers that we stay nice and healthy, and that we can keep on performing. But as far as the people are concerned, we couldn't ask for a better response from the people.
Eddie, throw us a bone before you go. Where were you when you first heard your first Rascals single on the radio? Where were you?
God, we were in Manhattan on one of the Fifth Avenue or something like that, and they played it, and I jumped as high as the car roof. I was on the sidewalk, and we just flipped out when we heard it on little transistor radios in those days.
Which song was it? Which one?
I guess it was I Ain't Gonna Eat Out My Heart Anymore.
That's right. One of the best lead vocals ever on a 60s tune. And that's, of course, you on the lead vocal on that one. You broke the doors and you opened the doors for the band with that vocal. And that's the one that Steve talked about when you guys were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He turned on the radio, he heard this record, he said, "What is this? This is unbelievable." And that was all you, Eddie.
Well, I can't. It's very humbling. This is such a wonderful opportunity, and I promise you that you guys come out and we give it our very best. The other guys are excellent players, and we're all reliving it and adding to it. That's the important part. It's not like an oldies thing. It's an advanced version. We picked up where we left off and kind of topped it. It's got humor in it. It's the pathos of the history. There were actors acting as us as children. And then we have interviews in it, and it kind of explains just about, in general what happened, but it goes way past, people say, what about this, and how come that, and blah, 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 and I'm saying, you know what, just come and enjoy it.
Yeah, the introduction to Good Lovin' is part of the show, and how it came about that each of you yelled a number. Real interesting part of the show, and a great idea to throw in there.
It's a documentary. But it's living. It's a little different. The Jersey Boys is a phenomenal success. It would be as if the Four Seasons were in the Jersey Boys. So I can't thank the people enough. And you certainly, you guys stood by us and enjoyed it. And all I have to say is that without the audience, the band will be playing to an empty room. It doesn't work that way.
All right, give our love to Gene, Dino, of course, Felix and yourself, rock and roll legend, and New Jersey guy. You grew up on the same street Greta grew up on.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Right in Garfield.
Garfield. They named the Brigati Corner. As you know, my brother's history, my brother played a very, very big part in my life. I followed him in. He's my mentor, and he's with Joey D and the Starlighters, and that's where I kind of broke into the business end of it.
Yeah, I can understand. David is a legend in his own self. David, your brother David. Yeah, and he is a legend, and he's a background singer on a lot of records that he did not get credit for, besides Rascal Records. You know, he sang background and did a lot of studio work. The guy's a treasure in himself, and if he ever writes a book... He's still creating, and one song, Dancing in the Moonlight, I didn't even know he was on it. And yeah, you could pick his voice out. You could tell it. You could pick his voice out in there. That's him all the way.
Yeah, but this is so fantastic. We could probably we're going to get together again, and you keep in touch with me, and can watch the progress. Hopefully we're going to go, higher and higher, and sooner or later we'll be in everybody's neighborhood.
Eddie, you're the best of the best, and I want to thank you for joining us. I'm going to give you the dates where they're going to be right here in the New Jersey, New York area in a couple of seconds. First, we're going to let Eddie go. Eddie, really, good health, take it easy on the road. What town are you in right now? Boston?
Boston, yeah. Yeah, we're playing the Opera House 4 nights. We play 2 nights, got a break, and then 2 other nights, and then we come back home and be at the PNC.
Yeah, PNC is going to be a big show. Jones Beach, I hope you have the best show there, because that is one heck of a venue.
Well, let me say you're very kind, and thank you so much.
Okay, my brother from another mother. Take it easy, Eddie.
Yeah, you be well. Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, yes, you will. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Okay, bye.